which is as per what the title suggests, okay, to accumulate wealth, margin on REITs to accumulate wealth. So once again, like I said, I actually picked this title with very care. Margins can be used for a lot of things. Margin can be used for a lot of things. Okay, so can be for high risk, can be for low risk. So what I am preaching here is this: use it as a wealth accumulation tool. So in this case, the risk will be better managed. The risk will be better managed. Of course, if you are comfortable to take high risk, some people actually use margin for trading. Okay, which you ask me, I think it's actually quite risky. Okay, but I think using margin on REITs to accumulate wealth, like what about to share? Okay, I think the risk is still can be managed. Okay, so that's the last part I just want to go through very quickly. Okay, so I just want to show you some margin ratio calculation or some exercises. With that, let me just pull out the Excel spreadsheets. Okay, by the way, you already have this spreadsheet already, so it's actually under the day 2 exercise. Let me just pull it out. Okay, the title will be day 2 exercises. You should have this spreadsheet already, yeah? Okay, what I want to illustrate in this spreadsheet here is this. Of course, let me just walk through. Then, of course, if you actually want to use this to do any simulation, you can. Okay, so this is what happened here. So let's say, okay, of course, the first column is the date. Okay, so let's say, on the first month, you just invested $270,000 at price of $1. You would have 207,000 units. So, okay, you can see that. So down here will be formula already. So if you want, you can just play around this. Okay, so this is the cumulative unit. You just add on to the previous one. So to buy $270,000 worth of REITs using margin, you just need 90,000. That means 3 times leverage. Then in this case, you'll be actually borrowing $880,000, as you can see here. Okay. So this is the stock value. Okay. And of course, this is the margin ratio. So of course, this is one way to invest in margin on REITs. You have $90,000. Yeah, $90,000. Okay, tomorrow go to market, go and just leverage 3 times up, go and buy $270,000 worth of REITs. Okay, you can do that. Okay. So now what I want to focus you here is this margin ratio. So of course, as you can see, theoretically speaking, by the way, the interest will be accumulated by month. By month, I think I've shown you in my actual account. So let's say first month, this is what you do. Okay, second month, you will actually incur interest based on your borrowing indeed. So based on this one, based on your $180,000. So second month, instead of owing just 180, you owe this amount 18525. Okay, then your third month will be this. Okay, and assuming that the prices don't change, okay, because the borrowing amount increases, your margin ratio drops. Okay, hope you see what I'm trying to get at. So basically down here, even let's say the prices don't change, because you are incurring interest by the month, your margin ratio will drop. So to the lowest point, the margin ratio actually dropped is 1.46. You can see here. Then of course, 1 year later, assuming your dividend come in, okay, your dividend come in, then it will actually use to knock off the borrowing amount. Okay, your borrowing amount will drop. Before dividend dollar, you actually knock off the borrowing amount, then your margin ratio will go up. Okay, so why is this not advisable? Again, you can see, let's say your margin ratio 1.5. Let's say second month, the price dropped to 90 cents, for example. Okay, can you see? Just dropped by 10% only. Okay, margin call already. Okay, if you actually max up 3 times, Okay, your margin ratio is only 1.5. So all you need is just drop by, okay, let's see, 0.95. Okay, quite close already, or 0.93. 7 cents margin call already. So this method is definitely not advisable. Okay, this method is definitely not advisable. Of course, I think as I mentioned just now, we should diversify. I'm actually going to show you the preferred method very soon. But what I want to share something very interesting to you. So if let's say you do this, okay, today 90,000, go and buy 207,000, assuming price don't change. You can see that after 180 months, you will actually fully pay off the loan. Okay, after 15 years, you will fully pay on, assuming that the price remain at $1. Okay, remain at $1. Okay, and of course, assuming you have a top up. So you today put 90,000, go and buy 270,000. Okay, after 15 years, okay, your dividend will be used to pay off your loan, right? Can you see dividend pay off the loan? Okay, 15 years later, they will finish paying off all your loan. And basically, you would have a portfolio of REITs that's worth 270,000. So this is what I mean by exactly like owning a second property. Can you see? Okay, exactly like owning a second property. So you borrow 3 times. Then 15 years later, you don't care about it. Okay, assuming price don't change. 15 years later, your 90,000 will become $270,000. Okay, but of course, this one has a downside, as I mentioned, it's actually too close to the 1. What do you call that? Too close to that 1.4 already. Very easy to get margin call. Now, what I am suggesting you all to do is really diversify. Okay, so let's say same thing. You have $90,000 cash. So this is what you do. You may actually want to break up into 3 main parts. Okay, so let's say you got 90,000. Okay, you break up into 3 main parts. Then you invest 1 part. Okay, max out the loan first. Then you invest the next part, max up the loan. Okay, so on and so forth. So the reason that you actually do this is because so that you have a buffer fund. And if anything happened, you can afford to use the buffer fund to top up. So that's the whole idea here. So if you want to play margin, it's actually good to have a buffer fund. So let's say this is what happened. 90,000, I just split on 3 parts. Then after that, within the 3 parts, then again, okay, I may actually want to break down into whichever portion. Like for example, in this case, I actually broke down into 6 portions. So whether it's 6, whether it's 8, whether it's 5, it actually doesn't matter because you already have some buffer funds. Okay, like in this case, I actually broke up into 6 parts. Okay, so every month I actually invest 5,000. As you can see, 5,000. Okay, let's say price is $1. Okay, I buy 5,000 units. So I got 5,000. Okay, this is my own fund. So basically, I don't borrow anything. Okay, I use my own money. Okay, month 2, I use my 5,000. Same thing as you can see. Of course, I'll be buying different REITs. In my case, I'll be buying different REITs. Second month, so on and so forth. Okay, so on and so forth. Then up to the 7th month, because I have actually clocked in stock value of 30,000, then I actually start to buy using borrowed money. Okay, so I just buy 5,000, then I start to buy using borrowed money. Okay. Then of course, then the interest will come in. This interest is actually for the previous month, as you can see. Then after that, the interest will come in. So of course, as I buy, then the margin ratio will slowly drop. Okay. So when I buy up to 90,000, that means margin up 3 times. If you are using a margin up 3 times, my ratio is actually only 1.57. The lowest I hit is actually 1.57. Whereas in this case, you can see the lowest it hit is 1.46. So if I do this method, the lowest it actually hit is actually 1.57. Okay, so once I roll up, okay, invested 30,000, already margin ratio 3 times already, based on initial, then I use my own money again. Okay, so in this case, this 30,000 is a buffer for the previous one. Okay, can you see what I'm trying to get at? It's the buffer for the previous one. Then after that, I have another buffer for the previous one. Okay, then by the time I actually max this out, you can see the lowest ratio I hit is just 1.7 something. So it's actually quite safe already. If this one looks too complicated, okay, so number one, what am I trying to achieve with this exercise? Hopefully, you all can learn this spreadsheet. If you actually want to do some simulations, you can actually use this spreadsheet as a base to do some simulations. Like, for example, you can play things like, what if the price drop? Okay, is the price drop to 90 cents, for example? Okay, how does the margin ratio change? Okay, so I already have this spreadsheet to do for you. What if the price drop? How does the margin ratio change? You can just play with that. Or either that, number two, if you actually, instead of breaking up into 6 times, you want to break up into 3 times, or you want to break up to 10 times, how does it work? You can just play around. And of course, you can track this margin ratio to see what is the lowest and go. So this is the first purpose of this spreadsheet. I will give you a template. Hopefully you can play around with it. Okay. The next thing I want to emphasize is this. So of course, very similar to what I said earlier, please diversify. And you see the way I diversify, I break up to 3 parts. That means what? You are actually creating buffer funds. Okay, which is very important. So if you actually want to top up, you still have money to top up. Now, I want to share with you something very interesting. Okay, so just now we actually talked about this buy upfront example. Okay, it actually takes 180 months, or either that 15 years. Okay, 180 divided by 12 is 15, right? Okay, 15 years to fully pay off all the loan. Okay, now make a guess. Okay, so this one will actually, this method, how long would it take for it to clear all the loan? Okay, make a guess. If I do this method, tomorrow, 90,000, pump, go and buy 270. Okay, I will take like 180 months, 15 years. Okay, so if I diversify, I buy a bit slower. Okay, how long will it take for me to pay off the loan? Okay, Serene said 9 years. Okay, the rest, make a guess. Make a guess. Okay, that one is 15. First one is 15. This one is how many years? 16, 12, 17. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Patrick got it. Patrick and True got the right answer. So in fact, you will just take only 1 more year to fully pay off. Okay, you all can actually go back and explore this Excel spreadsheet. So it will just take 1 more year to fully pay off. So my point here is this. Okay, down here you are actually making it lesser risk. Okay, the risk of hitting margin call is so much lower, and even if you hit, you have buffer funds to actually top up. Okay, and yet you just take 1 additional year only. Okay, 1 more additional year only to actually fully pay up that 270,000. Okay, so of course, the buying it this way, I would believe is so much better in terms of risk rather than one shot buy. Okay, and this is what I mean by my using margin on REITs to accumulate wealth. So this is exactly what I do. Okay, every month I buy, of course, not $5,000. Okay, every month I buy. Okay, Then after that, after a while, I actually using borrowed money to buy. And yes, when this ratio become too low, okay, then I top up money again. Okay, then I buy so on and so forth. So until the point whereby, let's say I hit whatever number that I want to be like be it I want to create a $300,000 portfolio or $500,000 portfolio. Okay, then I stop investing money already. Then I just let the dividend do the work. The dividend will actually slowly go and pay off my loan amount. Okay, then eventually, okay, I would have a REITs portfolio without any loan. Without any loan, and whatever dividend generated by my REITs portfolio is all for me to spend. So this is how I do margin on REITs right now, using dividend to help me build the portfolio. And when the day comes when I retire, okay, this is the portfolio that can actually give me my passive income stream. Okay, so hopefully this spreadsheet will really summarizes what we have been talking about since last week, and eventually you actually build out this system for you to build out a REITs portfolio, something like a second property. Very similar to buying an investment property. You buy the property first, then the renter to pay off the debt. And 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years later, the loan will be fully paid up and you will actually enjoy, okay, the dividends purely from the portfolio. Okay, is the entire portfolio only made of REITs? Okay, so realistically speaking, for my actual portfolio, so in fact, I have a few margin portfolio, frankly speaking. So easily now I have three. I have actually three. Okay, so one of them is fully REITs. Okay, one of them is fully REITs. Okay, the other two, okay, I'm actually combining. The other two I'm combining. Okay, the joke is the other two, one of them my wife know, one of them my wife don't know. Okay, but anyway, yeah, so the other two, yes, I actually do mix a bit. Okay, but I stick to the rule. That means there must be at least 1.5% spread. That is the rule. I actually quite sticky towards it. So now the interest is 2.8%. So I will only buy when the dividend yield is about at least 4.3%. Okay, about 4.3%, then I will buy. Okay, so the spread is actually very important. So something to take note of. Okay, so answer to Lydia's question is yes, I will actually use high dividend stocks. But please take note, actually a lot of high dividend stocks, if they are not blue chip, they are usually not grade one. Something to be careful of. Okay, like for example, Hotong. You look at Hotong, Hotong very high yield. Okay, let's see. Okay, Hotong can you see is grade 2. So the interest is 4.5% and it's not 2.8%. So take note of that. Let's say for example, HPH. HPH I think still okay. Okay, HPH don't have. Hutchison Port Trust don't have. So there's actually not what do you call that? Not marginable. So like for example, things like Value Max, Value Max. Okay, Value Max is actually grade 3. So it actually doesn't make sense here. Can you see? Okay, so unless they are blue chip, okay, unless they are blue chip, then it's grade 1. If not, a lot of dividend stocks, they are okay. This one to spend full. Singapore. Okay, SE Engineering grade 1. So unless they are blue chip, if not, a lot of those small ones are actually they are not grade 1. I think Yang Zijiang also no. Okay, let's see whether Yang Zijiang is grade 1. Yang Zijiang still grade 1. So something to think of. Okay, Keith, US starting to do tapering likely early next year. Will gradual increase interest rate, margin interest rate will increase as well. So for Kim Eng, I have hit 3.5 before. It went up to 3.5%. Okay, so that is something to know. So for me, it's quite straightforward. If let's say the interest rate go up to the point that it doesn't make sense anymore, right? Very simple. Then what I do is I just sell off everything. Or either that, I just sell off enough to pay off the loan. Then the rest, I just transfer to CDP already. So this is the good thing about margin or REITs compared to property. So for me, I can just sell anytime. Okay, if interest rate, after that, the interest rate go up to the point whereby there's no spread. So for me, as long as there's a spread, it's okay. As long as I can get that 1.5% spread, I'm okay. So even if, let's say, for example, interest rate got to 5%, but my yield is 6.5, I'm actually still okay. Okay, but once the spread is gone, then it doesn't make sense, right? Then what I do is I just sell enough of my REITs to pay off the loan I have. Then the rest, I will just transfer to CDP. Then I'll just close shop. Okay, can you explain the strategy on buy every month and not buy the same REITs every month? Okay, so question by L. So answer to Liner. That means if, let's say, for example, I buy Keppel REIT today, right? I have to buy 5 other different REITs, okay, before I buy back Keppel again. That's what I'm trying to say. So does that answer your question? Or Liner, maybe you want to unmute yourself? So
maybe is that, okay, you will have mentioned that you will buy the REITs, different REITs and every month and you will not buy consecutively for the continuous month. But when at the end of the 5th month, you buy, but just now you mentioned that you will not buy when you find there's no cheap REITs available to buy.
Correct. Yes.
So you wait, you carry on waiting until there's an opportunity that you come in.
Correct. Yes. So yes, so actually I started this about, I think, I don't know, 3 years ago. So yes, indeed there was one period when the REITs was very high. So I think I stopped buying for 2-3 months. So I did that. Yes.
You accumulate the interest by the margin facilities, right?
Correct. At the same time, my dividend will pay off.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, my dividend will pay off the interest, so it doesn't matter. Okay, if in fact I don't buy, right, my loan amount will keep reducing. So now my loan amount keep increasing because I keep buying. Okay, so if I don't buy, my loan amount will actually reduce. So far, because of the spread, the dividend will always be able to reduce the interest and the loan. We're able to cover the interest and of course the loan. Okay.
Main question.
Yeah,
so
please.
Because you buy the stocks, the various REITs over time, right?
Yes.
So for example, the spread is 1.5% and greater. Some are like, because of, for example, tapering interest rate, it is lesser than 1.5. Then at that point in time, you only sell those that are less than 1.5. Those that are above 1.5 you still keep, right? No
very likely. Very likely. Yes, very likely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I guess you would need to monitor the stock price nearly every day for the 17 years. Not exactly lah. So I'm a bit kiasu. Realistically, every day what I did is I just monitor, as I mentioned. Okay, this is what I monitor every day. Margin ratio. In fact, the price, I cannot remember already. A lot of REITs I buy, I can't even remember the price. Okay, like I said, personally, I do this to help to accumulate wealth. Give me this dividend. That's what I'm gunning for. Okay, then I just monitor this ratio. So to me, now what I'm doing is, when this one go below 180%, I will top up. I will actually top up cash. Okay, so that it will remain above 180%. Okay, and if it's still above, so let's say if it's still above, I will actually buy. Okay, I will actually buy REITs so that it will come down. So I'm maintaining about 180%. Okay, I'm actually maintaining the 100%. So this is what I monitor. Okay, so let's say in the event that when stock price increase, right, then this margin ratio up, okay, that means I can actually buy some more, okay, buy some more, so that, you know, it will come down to 180, then my portfolio will slowly increase as well. Okay, Wenhan, do you sell when the REITs criteria doesn't meet when holding? Gain ratio more than 40, okay. Okay, when you're holding above 40.
Okay, you mean I just say right? When you're buying it actually meets the ratio, but when holding it somehow maybe 2 years into it. Maybe acquisition or what, it doesn't mean the ratio.
Yes, I would suggest that. Yes, I would suggest that. Okay, personally, I may not check. I'm not so diligent. Okay, so far, what is the trigger point for selling is usually the property. That means I lost faith in the property. So far. But I would definitely suggest what you actually stated also. So once the ratio change, especially 40% one, it's actually considered worth selling. Especially if it's not account related. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so just to so just to summarize what I've been talking about using Excel. So spread out your total investment over 5 years. You break up into 3 portions. Okay, so by the way, why is it good to spread out your total investment over 5 years? Okay, the reason is because usually 5 years you have one cycle. 5 years you have one up, 5 years you have one down. So basically, if you spread out investment over 5 years, you would actually sort of like you won't like hit the down. So my point here is this: a market actually go in cyclicals. Okay, market go in cyclicals. So if you actually spread over 5 years, right? So within 5 years, you will actually see one down. Okay, but down you still have money, then you can actually bring it up. Okay, so ideally, your sum of money for investment is spread over 5 years. Okay, but if let's say it's too complicated, right? So what we suggest is you think in terms of portion, maybe it's easier. Okay, so the idea is portion is that means you will always have buffer funds. And like, for example, 5 years actually in the case of financial crisis. Also, let's say you got 100,000, you break into 3 parts. Okay, you invest 30,000, then after that, make it more or less the ratio hit about 1.5 already. Okay, then you put in the other portion, Okay, so that you will always have buffer fund. Okay, so whether you can eat fries, I know this one is a little bit hard to implement. Okay, hard to implement. But if you break up the 3 portions, more or less, it's actually 5 years. Then you have buffer funds. Then only buy when there's enough spread. Dividend yield minus interest must be more than 1.5%. So please, when you buy, please always go and check, is it marginable securities now? So again, whatever is marginable for Kim Eng is different from Philip. Philip may have their own rules of how they actually set their margin securities. Don't assume that, if Kim Eng said grade 1, Philip confirmed grade 1, not true. So they have their own sets of different criteria. And it change for information, it change. So it can be like, this particular REIT is grade 1 today, become grade 2 tomorrow. It can change. Okay, so please be aware of that. Then of course, to reinvest the dividends to pay down the loan amount. So this is what I really like about this system. Okay, if you don't do anything, the dividend will be automatically used to go and pay down the loan. Okay, dividend will be automatically used to pay out the loan. So it's actually very good for wealth accumulation. And I think we should keep it that way. Of course, if you want to, you can always instruct your reminder. So please withdraw money for me. Please withdraw all the dividends for me. You can do that. You can do that. But then you are not reducing the loan. So what I'm suggesting here is this. still always try to pay off the loan. Okay. Then of course, end of the day, the best risk mitigating measure is still you have to be prepared to cut loss. If the day comes whereby, okay, whatever all this risk mitigating measure don't work, the buffer fund don't work, whatever don't work, no money to top up, so go and cut. So let's say, for example, hit margin call, no money to top up, okay, just force sell, just take the hit and force sell. Okay. Yeah, don't have to be stubborn about it. So this is this way of doing so, which is you really stretch out. I think from the risk mitigating perspective, this is the best if you actually want to deal with margin. So I'll put it this way. I think the best risk mitigating measure is really to break up. You create buffer funds. You spread out. Okay, that is the best way to mitigate the margin call risk. Okay. So this is as per what I mentioned just now. Okay, conclusion. So margin is a high risk, high return game. Use it only when there's a clear risk mitigating strategy. And this is what I'm talking about. So this is basically the risk mitigating strategy I'm talking about. Then of course, watch your greed. Like I said, personally, I'm so susceptible to it. At first, I tell myself, okay, I stop at 200, I'll stop at 2. I now actually tune down to 1.8 already. Hopefully, I can stick it there. Sometimes I'm very tempted to say, why 1.8? Go to 1.6. So that one is your own personal discipline. So watch it. So to me, I'm holding that 1.8 very strongly. If one day you see me doing at 1.6, please come and kick me, please come and scold me. So I think that is the highest risk. You have to watch it yourself. So that one, to which its own, I can't really be helping you to see. Okay. So, and of course, please be very familiar of the margin ratio exercise that we have actually gone through. Okay. Hopefully by now, okay, the day one exercise, hopefully by now you know how to use this calculator. And I would really appreciate if you try to understand this spreadsheet. Okay, try to understand this spreadsheet. What are all the numbers trying to say? Okay, focusing on this margin ratio. Okay, if you can, after that, try to see what am I trying to do here. Okay, after you really apprehend this, you know what I mean. Okay, then your margin ratio is a lot more controlled compared to this one. Okay, so with this spreadsheet, you also can go and play around, go and change the price. Then you know what is the impact. Okay, so please get familiar with these two Excel spreadsheets. By the way, I've emailed to you. Make sure you all have it. If you don't have, please let me know. Yeah.
Just to check, because inside your Excel file, right, the interest rate is used to put at 0.035. The reason why you put it is because as buffer, is it?
Yes, correct. Okay, like I said, there was one period my interest actually went up to 3.5%. Okay, there's a question from Lung. Would it be better to just buy within the Akong stocks is lesser risk? Yes. If you want to measure it, right, but the spread may not be there. Like for example, now a lot of Maple Tree REITs, they're only at 4+%. Okay, the spread is not exciting. So to me, so far, I didn't limit to it. Okay, I have buy REITs that, like for example, you think about it, I actually one of the REITs that I'm quite happy. Let me just show you. Okay, here. Keppel Pacific, I mean, is sort of Akong, even though their properties are actually not in Singapore. Okay, about 7.8%. Okay, I'm getting about 5% spread. You think about it, and then plus leverage. Easily, when I actually buy this REIT, I'm actually getting about almost 8 to 9% dividend yield. Okay, so sorry, more. Okay, Okay, I can't remember exact lah. I think easily more than 10% yield. You know, where else can you get 10% yield? Okay, and it's capital. Okay. So of course, I think end of the day is a variety lah. It's a variety. Of course, if you want to be super, what do you call it? Safe. Okay, super safe. Okay, you may want to focus on Akong. But also, don't forget, if you buy Akong REITs, especially at a certain point in time, you may be buying expensive. Okay, like for example, if you buy Keppel DC REIT, Akong, then the price also drop. So assuming you buy here, $3, and now the price is $230, drop by how many percent? Drop by 20% already. Okay, so buying Akong REITs also have its risk. So yeah, so I don't think it's a good idea just focus on Akong REITs. Akong REITs is good that the property we know is actually very solid. They are actually very good properties. But in terms of pricing, so sometimes I am, you may not get it cheap. That's my point. Okay, before I go, okay, there's actually this request. Wonder if you're interested. Now, number one, okay, some good news for you all. So, okay, there's actually this request for me to share who is my remiser. Okay, I'm happy to share. And in fact, what I did was this. Okay, I asked my remiser, you know, if I actually introduce people to them, okay, can we actually get all of us get a good deal to get a good deal? So she actually agreed. She actually agreed. So if let's say, for example, if you open an account with the remiser with my remiser, they are happy to charge you your transaction cost to $15 instead of $25. Okay, the minimum, what do you call that? The minimum commission. Okay, so let's say, for example, now you go and buy a stock, right? The minimum commission is $25. My remiser actually said that, okay, she's happy to offer to my group, okay, only $15, minimum $15. And of course, if you actually buy in larger amount, I think the commission, is what, 0.28, right? Normally it's 0.28. I think she's happy to reduce it to, I can't remember. She's actually also happy to reduce that. Okay, so for those who are keen, okay, you let me know. I'm happy to, or will you actually prefer me to just share your contact? So all you have to do is very simple. You can just message her, say that you are referred by me. You are my student. Okay, will you be keen to know her contact? Anybody keen? Maybe can I just have a sense? Anybody keen to, okay. So I just type here. Okay, she is Elena. Okay, and her number is, let me just look for a number. Okay, 9783 9861. Okay, 9783 9861. Okay, you can just drop her a text and say that you are referred by me, Emin. Okay, and she's happy to open the margin account for you and give you the special rates. Okay, so that one can save quite a bit because now, even now, every time I buy is $25 commission. So she's actually willing to reduce it to $15. I'm actually paying minimum because every time I buy is 1,000, 2,000. I haven't hit the what they call that, the efficient commission rate yet. Okay, and if let's say is, let me see. Okay, so she was saying that, let's say, for example, if you just okay, commission, then after that, if let's say certain amount is actually just 0.22%. Okay, I think how it works is this: your commission is 0.22%. Okay, minimum is 25. So that is a standard one. So what it's offering now is 0.22%, minimum is $15. Okay, and if let's say you buy 100K, the commission can go down to 0.18% above 100K. Okay, so y'all can contact her, WhatsApp her. And is good in the sense that you probably want to find someone familiar with. Like I said, if let's say go to margin call, at least can negotiate a bit lah. So this one is a bit about relationship, man. So they won't suddenly or just go and force sell for you. So it's good to find someone familiar. So anyway, y'all can just contact her, Eileen, 978 3861. Okay. And the other thing is this, there is actually this request to form a WhatsApp group together. Okay. Then I was thinking, probably will be interesting is that, okay, from WhatsApp group, then we can share at every month what are the REITs we are buying every month. Okay. Will you all be keen to have the WhatsApp group? Okay. Okay. So this is what I do. This is what I do. I probably wait for another 2 to 3 days. If let's say anybody don't want to be in the WhatsApp group, either you text me or you email me. Okay. If not, if I don't receive anything, so 2 to 3 days later, I will form the WhatsApp group. Okay. So if any of y'all don't want, please either email me or contact me so that I won't include you. Okay. For PDPA reasons. Okay, if I don't receive anything, then I'll just form. So within the next 2 days, if you all can. Then for the rest, next 2 days later, I'll form the WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you so much. So with that, I think that is all I have. I'm quite sure you have my Facebook ready. Okay, so please, any questions, please ask. For those who need to go, really, thank you so much. Hope you find something interesting. Personally, I think this margin on REITs has been quite good for me. So I can really see my wealth growing. And like I said, I now treat it like my second property. I don't need to buy second property. My second property is here. Then no ABSD, no nothing. Okay. Any question, please ask. If not, if you need to go, really, thank you so much. I hope to see you all soon. Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Good night. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you.